We are the Gujarat Technological University. Since its inception over a decade ago, GTU has been empowering young and curating minds to realize their true potential. Over 4 lakh inspired students are enrolled with one of the premier academic universities in India. With more than 450 affiliated colleges in its fold operating across 5 zones of the state, GTU, the International Innovative University, your place to move forward.
We have discussed lightweight concrete, high density and radiation shielding concrete, roller compacted concrete, fiber reinforced concrete, self compacting concrete, high volume fly ash concrete, high strength concrete, high performance concrete and ferro cement concrete in our previous lecture under special concretes. Today, in special concrete part 5, we are going to discuss pumped concrete and polymer concrete. In lightweight concrete, we have gone through the structure is made from the concrete having lightweight, having a density low compared to normal concrete. In high density and radiation shielding concrete, we discussed about the concrete which used in that nuclear power plant type of structure. In roller compacted concrete, we discussed about that dam or road constructed with the concrete which is compacted through rollers. In fiber reinforced concrete, we discussed many type of fibrous concrete. In self-compacting concrete, we discussed the concrete which compacted by its own weight. In high volume fly ash concrete, we discussed the concrete having high volume of fly ash in concrete in partial replacement of cement. In high strength concrete, we discussed about the strength of concrete having a higher strength compared to normal concrete. In high performance concrete, we have discussed the concrete performance is very good in its rheological properties compared to normal concrete. In ferro cement concrete, we discussed that meshish type of congested element is there, and in that cases we are using cement paste or cement mortar type of things as a concrete. So now in pumped concrete and polymer concrete, we are going to discuss the applications and its technical data. So here in pumped concrete, I have put one image from this source. You can see that persons are working with the concrete which is coming from pump. Okay. So through that image, you are able to understand that it's a pumped concrete and it's having a good fresh properties and easy to handle as well easy to work with that concrete, that you can easily understand, because as per high performance concrete here that labor are less as well congested, that reinforcement is there, and that concrete is coming from pipe means it's having good workability. So if we'll discuss as per your syllabus and as per your exam point of view, so as per that, a concrete which can be pushed through a pipeline is called a pumpable concrete. It is made in such a manner that its friction at the inner wall of the pipeline does not become very high and that it does not wage while flowing through the pipeline. A clear understanding of what happens to concrete when it is pumped through pipeline is fundamental to any study of concrete pumping. Pumpable concrete emerging from a pipeline flows in the form of a plug which is separated from the pipe wall by thin lubricating layer consisting of cement paste. The water in the paste is hydraulically linked with the interparticle water layer in the plug. Here in that figure you can see concrete flow under pressure. That figure is for pumped concrete. In that you can see the concrete flow under pressure. Here you can see drag in this direction, pressure is applied in this direction, so pressure P is in this direction, and opposite to pressure resistance R is generated over here. Okay, then velocity V in the same direction of pressure, right? because pressure is there, so definitely velocity will be in that direction. Here you just observe on the that red laser which I am showing over here, and the resistance and drag D in the same direction, pressure P, velocity V is in same direction. You can see here in that figure water and fines act as a lubricant in that case, so concrete can easily pump. Here you can see that particles, concrete moves as a plunge. You can see over here that concrete moves as a plunge. That is the pipe. So from that figure you can easily understand that concrete flow under pressure. For continuous plug movement, the pressure generated by the flow resistance must be greater than the pump pressure rating. However, if the concrete is too saturated at higher water cement ratio, the concrete at certain pump pressure may be such that water is forced out of the mix, creating an increase in flow resistance and a possible blockage. Figure illustrates such a condition, which we will see in next slide. In other words, a very stiff concrete is not pumpable, and also a concrete with high water cement ratio is also not pumpable. It is interesting to note that if a concrete is pumpable, it is implying that it is really a very good concrete. Here, as per our previous discussion and our previous figure, you can see here that here high frictional resistance is there, okay, and migration of mixed water is there. Why? Because you can't see lubricant over here. In our previous slide you just try to focus over here. In that part water and fines act as a lubricant, okay, so easy movement of that concrete under pressure through pipe, okay. But here in this case there isn't any lubricant, okay. So here what is happening, particle interlocking will be there and migration of mixed water will be there, okay. So if we'll consider about the design consideration for pumpable concrete, then the mix is proportioned in a such a way that it is able to bind all the constituent material together under pressure from the pump and thereby avoiding segregation and bleeding, okay. This is the defect in concrete, but here you have to focus, the mix is proportional in such a way that it is able to bind all the constituent materials together under pressure from the pump and thereby avoiding segregation and bleeding. The mix must also facilitate the radial movement of sufficient grout to maintain the lubricating film initially placed on the pipeline wall. The mix should also be able to deform while flowing through vents. To achieve this, the proportion of fines like cement and fine particles below 0.25 mm size, means we can say that particles below 300 micron approximate is of prime importance in pump concrete. The quantities of fine particles between 350 to 400 kg per meter cube are considered necessary for pumpable concrete. The above quantities are not only found necessary for maintaining the lubricating film, but it is also important for quality and workability and to cover individual crane in pump concrete. There are two main reasons why blockages occur and that the plunge of concrete will not move. So these both the reasons are, water is being forced out of the mix creating bleeding and blockage by jamming, or there is too much frictional resistance due to the nature of the ingredient of the mix in concrete. Here under design consideration for pumpable concrete, you can see the figure, the relationship between cement content and aggregate void content and excessive frictional resistance on segregation and bleeding. Here you can see cement content and aggregate void content. Where that red laser is going on, just focus on that. Here cement content, here low, and here it is increasing this upward direction high. Here aggregate void content here at that intersection it is low and it is increasing high in that direction. So you can see that in that part there is a pumpable mix, means concrete can pump easily, and here in that portion, here you can see marginal tends to segregate, marginal pumps at a high pressure. Okay, so here is a marginal tends to segregate and pumps at high pressure regarding the pumpable mix. But here in that portion excessive frictional resistance will be there, and here excessive segregation and bleeding is there. So from that graph it is clearly shown that under that portion there is a pumpable mixes. So while it is important to maintain good grading and low void content, it is not always possible to design pumpable mix around ideal aggregate. That we have to keep in mind. Naturally occurring aggregate as well as crushed aggregate are suitable for pumpable mix, but it is essential to be aware of grading, void content and uniformity by preparing that concrete. The slump of pumpable concrete is kept at 75 mm to collapse range, and the diameter of the pipeline is at least 3 to 4 times the maximum size of aggregate. If we have to choose that pump for the pumped concrete, then choosing the correct pump, one must know the following factor, that which factor are affecting while choosing the concrete pump to prepare pumped concrete. So length of horizontal pipe, length of vertical pipe, number of bends, diameter of pipeline, length of flexible hose, changes in line diameter and slump of concrete. Pressure in the pipe can be estimated using following guideline. The startup pressure required by pump is 20 bars. Every 20 meter horizontal pipeline 1 bar. Every 4 meter vertical pipeline 1 bar. Every 90-degree bend it will be 1 bar. Every 45-degree bend is equal to 0.5 bar. Every pipe coupling is equal to 0.1 bar. Every 5 meter end hose is equal to 2 bar, and safety factor is equal to 10% extra. If we talk about the problems, then common problems in pumping concrete are listed over here. The most common problem in pumping concrete is blockage. If concrete fails to emerge at the end of pipeline, if pump is mechanically sound, it would mean that there is blockage somewhere in the system. This will be indicated by an increase in the pressure shown on the pressure gauge. Most blockages occur at tapered section at the pump end. Blockages take place generally due to the unsuitability of concrete mix, pipeline and joint deficiency, and operator's error, or we can say careless use of hose end. It has been already discussed regarding the quality of pumpable concrete. A concrete of right consistency which forms a concrete plug surrounded by lubricating slurry formed inside the wall of pipeline with right amount of water, well proportioned, homogeneously mixed concrete can only be pumped. It can be rightly said that a pumpable concrete is a really very good concrete that we discussed in previous slide also. Sometimes high temperature, use of admixtures, particularly accelerating admixtures and use of high grade cement may cause blockages. Chances of blockage are more if continuous pumping is not done. A pipeline which is not well cleaned after the previous operation, unclean, worn out hoses, too many ends, too sharp bends, use of worn out joints are also other reason for blockages. Operators must realize and use sufficient quantity of lubricating grout to cover the complete length of pipeline before pumping of concrete. The hose must be well lubricated. Extreme care should be taken in handling the flexible rubber end hose. Careless bending can cause blockages. If we will focus on clearing blockages. Then, a minor blockage may be cleared by forward and reverse pumping. Excess pressure should not be blindly exerted. It may make the problem worse. Sometimes shortening the pipeline will reduce pressure, and on restarting pumping the blockages gets cleared off. Tapping the pipeline with a hammer and observing the sound, one can often locate a blockage. Blockage could be cleared by rolling or by using sponge, wall pushed by compressed air or water at high pressure in it. Now, if we'll focus about the polymer concrete, then continuous research by concrete technologists to understand, improve and develop the properties of concrete has resulted in a new type of concrete known as polymer concrete. By name itself, we can say that polymer playing vital role in that concrete. The porosity is due to air void, water void, or due to the inherent porosity of gel structure itself. On account of the porosity, the strength of concrete is naturally reduced. That is clearly understood. It is convinced by many research workers that reduction of porosity results in increase of strength of concrete. Therefore, process like vibration, pressure application, spinning, etc. have been practiced mainly to reduce porosity, as it's a main concern thing in concrete manufacturing. All these methods have been found to be helpful to a great extent, but none of these methods could really help to reduce the water void and the inherent porosity of gel, which estimated to be about 28%. The impregnation of monomer and subsequent polymerization is the latest technique adopted to reduce the inherent porosity of concrete, to improve the strength and the other properties of concrete while manufacturing of concrete. The development of concrete polymer composite material is directed at producing a new material by combining the ancient technology of cement concrete with the modern technology of polymer chemistry. We can say that chemistry is playing important role to produce polymer concrete. So there are few types of polymer concrete. Polymer concrete, small name PC, polymer cement concrete PCC, polymer impregnated concrete PIC, partially impregnated and surface coated polymer concrete. So, if we'll talk about the polymer concrete, then the development of concrete polymer composite material is directed at producing a new material by combining the ancient technology of cement concrete with the modern technology of polymer chemistry. I clearly tell you that there is a chemistry playing important role in polymer concrete. Polymer concrete is an aggregate bound with the polymer binder instead of Portland cement as in conventional concrete. The main technique in producing polymer concrete is to minimize void volume in the aggregate mass so as to reduce the quantity of polymer needed for binding the aggregate. This is achieved by properly grading and mixing the aggregates to attain the maximum density and minimum void volume. The graded aggregates are pre-packed and vibrated in a mold. Monomer is then diffused up through the aggregates and polymerization is initiated by radiation or chemical means. A saline coupling agent is added to the monomer to improve the bond strength between the polymer and the aggregate. In case polyester resins are used, no polymerization is required. An important reason for the development of this material is the advantage it offers over conventional concrete, where the alkaline Portland cement on curing forms internal voids. Water can be entrapped in this void, which on freezing can readily crack the concrete. Also, The alkaline Portland cement is easily attacked by chemically aggressive materials, which results in rapid deterioration, whereas polymer can be made compact with minimum void and are hydrophobic and resistant to chemical attack. The strength obtained with polymer concrete can be as high as 140 megapascal with a short curing period. Please focus on this line. The strength obtained with polymer concrete can be as high as 140 megapascal with a short curing period. However, such polymer concrete tend to be brittle, and it is reported that dispersion of fiber reinforcement would improve the toughness and tensile strength of the material. The use of fibrous polyester concrete FPC in the compressive region of reinforced concrete beam provides a high strength ductile concrete as reasonable cost. Also, polyester concrete are viscoelastic in nature and will fail under sustained compressive loading at stress level greater than 50% of the ultimate strength. Therefore, polyester concrete should be considered for structure with a high ratio of live load to dead load, and for composite structure in which the polymer concrete may relax during long-term loading. Experiments conducted on FPC composite beam have indicated that they are performance effective when compared to reinforced concrete beam of equal steel reinforcement percentage. Such beam utilize steel in the region of high tensile stress. Fibrous polyester concrete means FPC with its favorable compressive behavior in the regions of high compressive stress, and Portland cement concrete in the regions of relatively low flexural stress. Now we will talk about polymer cement concrete PCC. So polymer cement concrete is made by mixing cement, aggregate, water and monomer. Such plastic mixture is cast in mold, cured, dried and polymerized. The monomers that are used in PCC are polyester styrene, epoxy styrene, furnace, vinylidene chloride. However, the result obtained by the production of PCC in this way have been disappointing and have shown relatively modest improvement of strength and durability. In many cases, materials poorer than ordinary concrete are obtained. This behavior is explained by the fact that organic material, I mean we can see monomers are incompatible with aqueous system and sometimes interfere with the alkaline cement hydration process. Recently, Russian authors have reported the production of superior polymer cement concrete by the incorporation of furfural alcohol and aniline hydrochloride in the wet mix. This material is claimed to be specially dense and non-shrinking and to have high corrosion resistance, low permeability and high resistance to vibration and axial extension. Now, if we'll talk about polymer impregnated concrete PIC, then polymer impregnated concrete is one of the widely used polymer composite. It is nothing but a precast conventional concrete cured and dried in oven or by dielectric heating, from which the air in the open shell is removed by vacuum. Then a low viscosity monomer is diffused through the open cell and polymerized by using radiation, application of heat or by chemical initiation. Mainly the following type of monomer are like methyl beta acrylate, styrene, acrylonitrile, T-butyl styrene, other thermoplastic monomers. The amount of monomer that can be loaded into a concrete specimen is limited by the amount of water and air that has occupied the total void space. It is necessary to know the concentration of water and air void in the system to determine the rate of monomer penetration. However, the main research effort has been towards obtaining maximum monomer loading in concrete by the removal of water and air from the concrete by vacuum or by thermal drying, the latter being more practicable for water removal because of its rapidity. Another parameter to consider is evacuation of the specimen prior to soaking in monomer. This eliminates the entrapment of air towards the center of the specimen during soaking, which might otherwise prevent total or maximum monomer loading. The application of pressure is another technique to reduce monomer loading time. Now, if we'll talk about partially impregnated and surface coated concrete, then in partial impregnation may be sufficient in situations where the major requirement is surface resistance against chemical and mechanical attack in addition to strength increase. Even with only partial impregnation, significant increase in the strength of original concrete has been obtained. The partially impregnated concrete could be produced by initially soaking the dried specimen in liquid monomer like methyl methacrylate, then sealing them by keeping them under hot water at 70 degrees centigrade to prevent or minimize loss due to evaporation. The polymerization can be done by using thermal catalytic method in which 3% by weight of benzyl peroxide is added to the monomer as a catalyst. It is seen that the depth of monomer penetration is dependent upon following: pore structure of hardened and dried concrete, the duration of soaking, and the viscosity of the monomer. The potential application of polymer impregnated concrete surface treatment is in improving the durability of concrete breach deck. Breach deck deterioration is a serious problem everywhere, particularly due to abrasive wear, freeze-thaw deterioration, spalling, and corrosion of reinforcement. Excellent penetration has been achieved by ponding the monomer on the concrete surface. Due care should be taken to prevent evaporation of monomer when ponded on concrete surface. Significant increases in the tensile and compressive strength, modulus of elasticity, and resistance to acid attack have been achieved. If we talk about properties of polymer concrete, then highly impermeable, high durability, resistance to weathering conditions. So as per that, under high impermeable, the polymer phase in the concrete will help reduce the porosity and micro crack that are formed in cement matrix. This acts as an additional binding material other than the Portland cement used. If we considered under high durability, a dense and watertight concrete is obtained by the use of PCC. This prevents chemical attacks, water penetration, and hence no chance of corrosion. The internal microcrack in cement matrix too is prevented. These increase the life of the structure. Resistance to weathering conditions under that, the PCC structure being impermeable, they are less affected by the changing weather condition. Breach deck covering, the use of PCC help to provide highly impermeable and watertight surface that will prevent the increase of moisture and chloride, thus avoiding reinforcement corrosion, spalling, and microcrack. If we will talk about floor construction, increased chemical resistance properties, high physical and mechanical properties make it best choice for industrial floor construction. These are also used in pavement construction where the area is subjected to heavy traffic. Precast construction. Good workability and heat curing characteristics demand it for precast operations. PCC units with a less water remnant ratio can be obtained. Used as patching compound. PCC can be used for patching and repair work of ordinary Portland cement concrete. These increase the strength and life of existing structure. PCC must be applied only after the removal of old material. So dear students, under our special concrete part 5, today we have covered all the concrete which are mentioned in your syllabus. As per your end semester exam and as per your syllabus, as we covered all the concrete, whatever I want to convey to you, that I have clearly written in this PPT. So you can read also, you can watch this video again and again, or you can read this PPT again and again to make it remember for your exam point of view. So our lecture is complete today. You can prepare well for your exam from this all the lectures. Till that, stay safe, take care, all the very best and study well.